The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live, Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio. Welcome back to another edition of the Carolina Cabinet.
Well, everybody, good evening and welcome to Carolina Cabinet. I'm your host, Peter Pappas, in studio with Mrs. Laura Musler.
Hello, hello.
And welcoming Ms. Terri Thomas, running for Cumberland County Commission. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. It's so good to see you again.
Yes, good to see both
so,
you and Laura.
For those of you watching, we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice to the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. And with that, we're going to jump right in. There's,
buddy.
Very little prep. So, Laura, we had an interesting afternoon with Mr. Michael Byrne running for NC Court of Appeals.
We sure did.
Very intelligent guy, I have
Yes.
to say. Very knowledgeable, very experienced.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have an opponent, so we can't be pulling for one or the other.
Right.
Publicly, anyway.
Right.
I think, Terri, you understand all that,
I
right?
do.
Yeah. We got to keep it quiet.
Keep it unbiased.
Yes, keep it unbiased. So,
But I would say, even though I like Michael Byrne, I like his wife better.
Okay. Well, I think that's fair. I think in the room, we all agreed that kind of she was, what did he say, the force multiplier?
Yes.
And
yes.
They worked well as a team. And that's, like I tried to mention, I think it's more important that he has a good wife at home that makes him probably a better man. Is
Probably.
What I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I haven't been married, so I don't know how that all works.
I don't either.
But
it is good to have a good partnership.
It'd be nice. Yeah. I mean, it's better than having one that, drives you crazy.
And doesn't have your back.
Yeah. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. So, Laura,
Yes.
what's been up to the last week or so?
Causing trouble behind the scenes, I guess. Not
Yeah.
really. I'm trying to prevent trouble, but people
Trouble just seems to follow you.
Yeah.
It's like you try to help. I think you need to learn this. Okay, stupid, and just let people touch that hot stove.
No, see, I don't like that. I want to prevent bad things from happening. I don't like drama. So I'm trying to prevent it, which makes more drama. And it's just, this is whatever.
Okay, so you've had a little frustrating week. We'll let you
Just a little
buy
bit,
with
yeah.
that. Yeah. So I'm trying to get you your public chat here so you can be happy and see if anybody wants to join us, because
Just a stressful week.
She starts twitching if I don't put her chat up.
Well, just because if people are commenting, I want to recognize them.
Got you. That's why.
What did you do this week? Because I don't want to talk about my week. I'm not having a good week.
So my week actually was really boring. But this week, tomorrow, I have the regional realtor luncheon.
Oh, yeah.
With all the realtors are involved. So we'll be at the Crown Coliseum tomorrow at 11:45 for a
rubber chicken
lunch.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, but
Rubber chicken.
I don't know. I don't know if we paid for the rubber chicken. We might end up with just pasta. I don't know. But
okay.
Tomorrow night is the Civic Center Commission meeting, which I'm a member of. So that'll be tomorrow night. I missed the last meeting, and Mr. Bill Kirby was very quick to point out that I wasn't in the meeting.
Oops.
I have not missed one meeting since being on that commission. And of course, the one of the few he sits in on, I wasn't there. So fairly, he called me out. I was like, I was sick. I was actually sick. But anyway, so hopefully we don't have rubber chicken for lunch, better than pasta. And I don't know if you all have been out to the Crown since the new culinary people have taken over.
No,
but they have some really there's an excellent new chef, and he's really trying some very unorthodox things.
I think I have been. I think I went for the MLK breakfast. It was good.
Yeah,
it was good. The food was good.
They're starting. So what I do know, being on the Civic Center Commission, they bring us like new menu items, the stuff they want to try, or new. The biggest innovation unfortunately is in the alcohol sales, different cocktails and things, but they are trying different.
You get to
types
try
of
new
food.
alcohol?
No.
No.
Okay. They do showcase a dinner for us when we
Nice.
go. So they do have a couple of ladies there, and different.
How do I get on there? I want to get fed.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
you don't get to try
gotta know a
alcohol.
guy.
Okay.
You got to know.
I don't know anybody.
You know?
So
Yeah, you don't know nobody. So, I wanted to jump into just a little bit of local news here. I have a little bit.
Can we ask Terri what's the best part of your week, Terri, first before we start getting
Absolutely.
in local news?
The best part of my week.
I thought she's going to be a Folgers commercial.
No, not exactly. I guess I would say, making it and getting up on time this morning, even though I didn't want to get out of bed. I think that's been the best thing for me today.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to lay there and I couldn't. So I just pumped on up. How I pumped up, I don't know. But I got on up and got there on time. That's some major crap for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure I spelled her name right.
Let me see. You did.
Yeah, I did. See?
You did.
I'm kind of a smart guy sometimes. Sometimes. I just don't let it always show. Be quiet about that. So a couple of things going on. PFAS is in the news again, as usual. It never seems to go away. Let's see here. Fayetteville's effort to remove PFAS from drinking water just got more expensive. The projected cost for 2 filtration plants has climbed to roughly $134 million, up significantly from earlier estimates. Meanwhile,
surprise,
the county has secured more than $34 million in state and federal funding for PFAS-related water projects, including extensions to impacted rural communities. And water infrastructure continues to be one of the county's most expensive and pressing long-term challenges.
So we're only $100 million short.
Yeah, well, speaking of county priorities, those 2 schools they're talking about are Grays Creek and Alderman Road.
Mm-hmm.
They're set to receive the PFAS filtration systems after years of bottled water use. Upgrades are designed to allow students to safely drink from school fountains again. It's another reminder that environmental policy here is not abstract. It directly affects local families and children. So the water. That just seems to be the thing now. Yeah. So, Ms. Thomas, you decided that you want to run for Cumberland County Commissioner.
I have.
Now, are you running for a district or at-large seat?
District 1.
Okay. And that puts you with about, 20... on the Democratic ballot, you have like 20 competitors in that race?
No, not 5? 20. It's going to be 4 other ones.
4 others. So there's 5.
Yes, so it's a total of 5.
So 5 people running.
Yes.
And that's for 2 seats, right?
2 seats.
Okay, so Democrats, when you pull a Democratic ballot, you have to narrow from 5 to 2. You get to choose 2.
Right.
Pick 2.
Terry's going to say choose her and somebody else.
Exactly.
Okay.
You got
Fair enough. I mean, so let's talk about why they need to check the box for Terri Thomas. Tell us about yourself, your background, where you've been, where you're from, what you do for a living. Just
okay, let's see.
You got the floor.
Let's talk about, so I'm a long-term girl of Fayetteville. I mean, I've been from Fayetteville State Nursery School to Ferguson, Margaret Willis, Edgewood. I mean, I know somebody has probably resulted, and I'm telling y'all this for a reason. Edgewood, and I graduated from E. Smith Senior High School. From there, I went to NC State, so I graduated from there, and then I went.
What degree did you get?
Oh, economics and business.
Economics and business,
and a minor in African American studies. So that was my degree.
Okay,
and then I actually came out of school for a minute, and I actually started working for Micron Industries. I was in Raleigh, so I worked as a buyer. My corporate America life was a buyer, and when you say buyer, people wonder what that is. I pretty much bought for manufacturing companies, so I was at Micron, John Deere.
Were you buying like commodity stuff?
Commodity. Commodity.
Okay.
So for Micron, it was more like computers, everything that you need to make that computer work for super servers at Micron. And then at John Deere, it's more so the sheet metal for the Z-Track for people that do landscaping. So on the Z-Track tractors, I was a sheet metal buyer for that. Okay. And then I was also at Merex Telex there. And then my last job that I had was with Wyeth, which is now Pfizer. So I bought all the stuff for like commodities with maintenance, repairs, and operating supplies. So that was my deal.
You weren't making drugs. You were keeping the facilities.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, did you travel around and do sales? I said, no. I worked at a pharmaceutical company, but that was definitely not it. And then as I moved up the ladder, I started being an SAP. For those that didn't know that, was an ERP systems expert at my job. So which
is electronic reporting platform.
That's exactly right.
Okay, ERP. Okay,
ERP systems.
You got to use the little words, big words with me with the little acronyms.
So that's the deal. So as I was there, I started getting into, I said, I want to get my master's, but I didn't want to get it in business. And so I really love old people. I really do. So I love old people. So one of my sister was like, why don't you go back to school for gerontology? Because that just really intrigued me. So I got my master's of science in life sciences with a concentration in gerontology.
So what is that? Okay, so master in life sciences. We know we started dying as soon as we come out of the womb. So what do you do with the Masters of Life Sciences?
Well, my goal.
What does that tell you?
Well, you know what my goal was.
I'm not trying to minimize the value of your degree. I'm just saying
you didn't.
We all know we die. So what's the point?
No, you don't. But see, the thing about gerontology is with the degree of aging in terms of the aging population. So at the time, I was like, okay, maybe I would want to work at the senior center. And my ultimate goal in life is to create an environment or a living facility that defies what nursing homes are. I really want to create this living place where people that are aging that don't want to do nursing home, they just want to be able to age in place where maybe their kids can't quit their jobs like I did for my, I got a severance package. I'll tell you about that in a minute, but take care of their parents. But it's a nice place.
Yeah.
You know, it's a place that you can depend on. To truly live and age in place, you know? Okay. So that's my ultimate goal. So I wanted to find out about what were the trends, what were people doing for people that were aging. So that was really my deal, because my parents were older. I'm adopted. And so my parents adopted me at 50. So they were older, right? My dad died at 93 and my mom died at 88. And so that was major for me in caring for them and walking through the path of advocacy. How old were you when
they adopted you?
I was 3 months old. So I know my biological parents, and so I got the best of both worlds. So I know them. But I went through the whole process in their aging and advocating for them in that. And my mom went to the nursing home for a little while and we were able to bring her home. But that whole piece or that path, if you haven't walked or lived that, you just don't understand it. Or caregiving, you know, so I was a only child. So caregiving for my parents, and that was a major thing. So I walked that whole path. So that gerontology degree, our masters, that helped me to help people after my parents passed away. Because my parents were older than all my friends. So now they're going through what I went through. So now I can educate them.
You got a preview.
I got a preview.
What's going on? Well,
exactly.
Wow, that's a story. But what kind of love your parents must have had to bring you in as a 3-month-old and nurture you. And obviously you turned out to be a pretty good human because you took care of them and you did all the good things. Yeah, and it's so funny because even though adopted, my dad was like on the CCAP board. It's now Action Pathways. Right. I found a certificate when I was cleaning out his stuff that he was actually a volunteer for CCAP. And so fast forward, when I actually left Wyeth, I was on the board with CCAP, and it was just the nicest thing because Dr. Cynthia Wilson, she was the executive director at the time, and she found my dad's certificate and gave it to me, another replica of it. And I was like, I was indirectly taught that as a child in terms of civic engagement and giving back and volunteerism and helping people in terms of philanthropy as a young child. And fast forward now, look where I am now. It's been engraved in me. Even though it was not in my genes, you know, biologically, it still was there. So you think sometimes maybe all the things you've done, and we'll get to what you do in the community, I have an idea what you do. Do you think some of that is maybe a subconscious way for you just to give back to the blessings you've received?
Definitely, because to whom much is given, much is required. I've always felt that way. Even in high school, you know, I was a junior class president, senior class president, you know.
Well, you were just a nerd, man. Nobody
I was a nerd. You know, I was a nerd. But I got things done. Right. You know, that was the biggest thing. And we never had, you know,
what did you get done? An extra lunch period?
No. We went on they had not had a senior class trip in years. And I planned a senior class trip against our principal, was Dr. John Griffin at the time. And he did not want to see that done. And we planned our senior class trip. We had chaperones, all that. We went. Everybody came back safely. Nobody went to jail. It was very nice. We went to Walt Disney World.
And this was a senior trip?
It was a senior class trip.
Anybody come back pregnant?
Nope. Not that I know of, anyway. I don't know anybody had any
they
kids
were seniors,
that time.
so they graduated.
They just dispersed.
So we did that. You know. So.
Okay, so I know you're upbringing a little bit. Tell me about your active role in our community now.
Active, man. I'm executive director of the Vision Resource Center, so I work with blind and visually impaired adults and kids. So I've been doing that. My 16-year anniversary was yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's see. I think.
You got side effects?
I thought I did, but I guess not.
Obviously not.
See?
There you go. See?
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was hype. So. That was hype. So, and in that time period, I've just learned so much in working with the blind vision impaired. So when I left, let me go back. So when I was at Wyeth and they became Pfizer, I was like, God, my dad has had these appointments with VA. And you know, for those that go to the VA, you're there all day.
How many years ago was this?
God, that was 2008.
20, yeah. Okay, so yeah,
2008.
Over 20 years.
2008. And I was like, God, I got to do something because my dad is like.
That's not over 20
under
years.
20.
Yeah, the math was a little bit
I don't
different.
have enough coffee in me yet. All right.
Just chunk it. But But my dad was in VA all day, and that's kind of like a social hour for World War II vets and whatever. It's just like a social. I was like, Dad, I cannot continue to do this and, have good reviews on my job, because when you're out of work, your reviews, go down. Yeah. So anyway, I said, okay, I got to leave my job. I got to find something else. So anyway, I was able to get a severance package when they switched over from YF to Pfizer. And so I was able to come home and take care of my dad. Why all this matters is because that gave me the opportunity to finish the master's, and that gave me the opportunity to learn Fayetteville as an adult, meaning getting on different boards and commissions like the Senior Citizens Advisory Board. I was the youngest one at that time, 30, 40 years old. And people was like, why did you want to be on here? I said, well, I'm going to get old one day. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Who's going to take care of me? I need to know that the senior things that are here. I think Mayor Schiavone was the mayor at the time when I was on there. And so then I was on CCAP, and I did some nursing home and assisted living boards. I did that kind of thing. So I was on those boards. And then fast forward to now, I was able to do some tourism board, which I found out about the funding for that and how that worked. And then I got on ABC board. So I was on that. And so I'm still on that now. And then just my church finances and just being in the community, helping people and being a caregiver to those individuals that don't have kids, right? And helping them navigate county systems, city systems, and getting what they need and want, the hospitals and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I do behind the scenes that people don't necessarily see, but just still giving the gift that I have in terms of advocating.
Okay. So I think, was it last week we met with you?
Yes.
And we ran into you, we had a chat, and I think you were working on a Touch the Blind People event or something.
Trying to think. Oh, you're talking about, I was like, Touch the Blind People? What are you talking about, Peter? You're talking about the blind fashion show.
The feel around to see what's happening in the event?
Oh, my God. You're too much. Yeah. No, it's the blind, full bloom fashion. That's why your seat went down.
That was my stupidity going, how does a blind person go to a fashion show?
That's why your seat flopped down, because he was joking around. The full bloom fashion show, cultivating.
Okay.
That's it.
Talk to me, girl. When is it?
The fashion show. We did one in 2024. So we have blind and visually impaired people strutting their stuff, showing their confidence, who they are other than being a blind person. Just having their chest poked out and showing the world who they are. Okay. And we talk about who they are, the people that they are, not just that they're blind, and what they like and how they became blind. And it's just a confidence booster out of this world. And it makes us think, people that can see, like, what is my excuse? Why am I not doing what I need to be doing?
Haven't you done in the past, like blindfolded dinners?
Yes,
like
it was out of sight dining. And so people would blindfold themselves while eating, and many people couldn't even go through the whole dinner. But that was an opportunity, no longer how long you kept the blindfold on, to get an ounce of the reason of why our mission is important here in Cumberland County. Right. And so many people love it.
How large is the disabled blind population in Cumberland County? Like, is there a quantity?
It was like 676.
Okay.
Here in Cumberland County. That does not include the people that are not registered. And a lot of people don't register because they don't want to actually be tracked by the state, meaning they don't know if their benefits will be cut, that type of thing. So those are only the registered ones.
Why would their benefits be cut?
Well, it's just people don't know. It's misinformation. They feel that they will be, but they won't.
They think that they will.
They think that they will be if they're tracked in some type of way.
Let me ask you this. So when it comes to, say, our homeless population, there's an annual PIT count. Point in time count, and some of the nonprofits that work with that population say it's off by a factor of 3. Okay, so that puts us between 12 and 1,500 homeless actual. What do you think it's off by?
I really have no idea, because you see, I don't even know how they can track it, to be honest. When you say PIT count,
well, because you have people that are registered,
right?
So that's why about the 600.
676.
So about 676. I just wonder if it's off by a factor, or like, is it 1,200, 1,800?
And it may be, because there's some that are not registered, and then they're also kids, and they don't have it. The state does not track them separately. It's just in groups.
Are there many veterans?
There are veterans.
667?
Right in our. It's not even tracked by veterans. Right in the VRC right now, we serve about 250, 300, and we probably have about 12 veterans that have said that they're veterans that go to the center. So when you go out on the state demographics, when you go look at it with the Division of Services for the Blind, they're just lumped into a category and based on county.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, that's it in terms of statistics.
How has County Commission been towards helping the VRC?
Well, the County Commission has been good to us. I mean, I've had to fight to get some things, but we are actually in a county supported building on 2736 Cedar Creek Road. So that has been quite helpful for us, as well as getting funding. We're on their budget for the year. So we've come up from 12,000 to 50 this year, which is a blessing.
What makes you stand out and be consistent with that? Like from you to other nonprofits, what makes you at the VRC and what you do? What is it? What's driving the most probably reason why they're willing to help you?
I think because we're the only nonprofit of our kind here in Cumberland and surrounding counties, to be honest with you. And if we weren't there, so many of our blind and visually impaired, we're saving those dollars too from nursing home. Like I told you, a lot of times it's not that they have any other type of ailment. It's just visually impaired, but they need a little assistance. They need that getting out, that isolation to prevent additional health issues like that dementia setting in from being at home alone. So we give them that little push to get out, to get that life in them, you know? Okay. So that prevents that piece of it, which could go up in terms of nursing home care. Many can't afford the assisted living piece, but definitely nursing home care.
Okay. So let's talk about county government. So on the county commission, you guys are going to be responsible for property tax rates, school funding appropriations, water and sewer. We talk about that again, economic development, and public health oversight. So it's a big range of things that as a county commissioner you'd be in front of. What is your, let's talk about economic development. So what is your kind of idea for economic development here? What do we need to do to bring better jobs? Cumberland County sits at number 50 out of 100 counties in the state as far as median income. So like we're dead in the middle. 43,000, I think it is. What are some ideas you might have for economic development?
You know, my whole big thing is getting people graduating and staying here. That's one of the biggest things. Like we're getting ready to do the whole big Cateville Valley Hospital and the education piece in the School of Medicine. So one of my biggest things is what are we going to do to retain those individuals? Like, are we going to do, like I remember when I was in high school, how they had a teaching fellows, and to be a teacher, they were trying to get more teachers in the lineup. But in order to get that money, you had to be a teacher for so many years. And if not, you had to pay back the money. So I wonder if there's going to be some type of incentive, which I would think would be a great thing to have some type of incentive to make the students that want to be people in med school here to want to stay here in this area, because that's a big deal here in Fayetteville, not having enough positions. But going back to just in general, I think promoting a lot of the certifications and the certifications like the BioWorks program. Like I worked in Sanford. And when I was in Sanford many years ago, it was like a underdeveloped just town. I've gone back since then because they give money to VRC now. And because they have these different programs, it looks like a little Silicon Valley. I've said it. I mean, they have jobs, they have companies there that have a livable wage, and you don't even have to have a degree. And they have the BioWorks program, which a lot of people do at Central Carolina. So I did learn, since I got on some of my talks initially, that we have that at Fayetteville State, and we do have that at Fayetteville Tech, but it's not marketed.
I was going to say, so there's a it's
called BioWorks, where you can actually learn about pharmaceutical manufacturing. Those are good jobs. They get paid good wages, right? So promoting that, and you could still live in the Fayetteville area and travel right to Sanford and come back, right? But promoting those things and the certifications, because there's more than one way to skin a cat rather than getting a 4-year degree for some people to have a livable wage, other than some of the manufacturing facilities that we promote here, but bringing more of that type of business here, right? And figuring that out. I know a lot of times they say the infrastructure is the reason why a lot of businesses don't come here. So I'm really curious, Pierre and Laura, what are the factors behind that? Having a seat at the table, I think, would allow that, because I don't know what's the preventative, why people don't come here, other than I heard infrastructure. Nobody wants to come here with bad water, right? So how do we fix that piece of it? So learning more than what I know now as just a regular resident, I think that would help me in the economic development piece of it, and being able to help some of those small businesses. What are the incentives downtown to help them to flourish? Because I know there are a lot of disgruntled people downtown in terms of the small businesses. How do we get that stimulated? Why is it not stimulated? You know, I hear from them.
Nobody goes down there. Nobody lives down there.
So, right. But there's some people that want to live down there if they had more stuff. And there are some people that are down there that live that say, hey, I need more stimulation here. Chapel Hill is small. They do have a college town, but it's nice. I like visiting Chapel Hill. They got a lot of stuff downtown. I mean, even eclectic.
They also got a lot of hippies. They can keep them.
Well, but it's still business. It's still business. It's cultured. Yeah. I mean, people talk about all this crime rate in Durham and Chapel Hill, but it is fun being downtown. So you can make it better than what it is.
I think if we get a city management that reviews, and that just goes to the city of Fayetteville, if we get some city managers that are forward thinking to revise some of the zoning stuff down there, because that's what prevents people from like living upstairs and having a business downstairs.
Right.
They're not allowed to right now.
Right. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing about just what you said, more forward thinking out of the box. That's the whole deal with economic development for me, is what I'm thinking.
There are people that live upstairs because they do that at Christmas time. We go and view all
Christmas loft. I like that.
It's more the exception though than the norm.
Right.
And the people that do have fought very, very hard. So is it the Sweet Palette cupcake joint?
Yep, cupcake.
So those people bought that place. They went through all kinds of hell just to open the restaurant portion, let alone trying to make the upstairs livable, because it fell under the historic and they couldn't replace a window if it wasn't craftsman made by some guy that knows how to make wooden windows. And it's very prohibitive. It's not, we don't have an encouraging
well, at the
attitude.
same time, you want to maintain the historic.
How historic is it though? The market house is on the register, but nothing else is.
You know what? You can make it look historic and not be wood. You can.
I agree.
Well,
that's how the city stole it from Mr. Chen that owned the Prince Charles. I don't know if you remember that one. The man bought it from foreclosure for like $200,000. He was in New York, came down here, and he kept getting code violations left and right because he put in a vinyl window. And they eventually were able to put it in foreclosure because of that.
Nice.
And I'm going to tell you something else. People need to get on these boards and commissions with the county, because, and a lot of people don't realize how important it is to get on the boards and commissions to make a difference in this community. I mean, and I really I knew about them because I had people in my family. I don't know if you remember Lula Gray Crenshaw when she knew, but she's deceased now, but she ran for Senate back when she was living against Mansfield.
How long ago?
When Eric Mansfield was running.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the year.
You know, I think I do remember that.
I'm trying to think of the year.
Within the last 20, 30 years.
At least.
Gotta be, yeah.
At least that. And anyway, but so I knew about them, but everybody is not aware of how important the boards and commissions are with the county and the city. But in terms of the county, that's one thing I would like to try to educate more people on, to get involved, because that makes the difference. Like what you're saying, the same people know about them, they stay on there, and then they start prohibiting things. You need to get people with forward thinking and different mindsets and, that kind of thing on the boards and commissions as well.
Do you ever think that maybe we, unfortunately, in Cumberland County and the city of Fayetteville, have just kept thinking we're a little town?
Well,
do you think that has something to do with it, that we're at that point where we are a big town, but people haven't really caught up to their thinking that we have big city problems here?
Yeah, we do. And the biggest thing about it is, and just recognizing that we are that, and let's start thinking that way. Like, and I know there's a lot of people that haven't really ever left Fayetteville, so you may not have seen anything any different, and it's fine if you haven't left Fayetteville, but at least go out and research what else is out there, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But what I don't know, I go out and research and see, how did other people do it? How did they figure it out, instead of just trying to keep it with our own minds and figure out how else to do it. But sometimes we feel like we may be smarter than other people, I guess. But it's good to always look out there and see what else is out there.
This is the smartest hour of radio, so we know, this is the smartest hour.
Yeah.
But let's talk about schools.
Okay.
Do you think that we're funding the schools the right way? Do you think it's adequate?
Well, I think that we shouldn't just throw money at the schools. I think that we should make sure that our teachers and stuff are provided for and get what they need, because I just think that the teachers aren't taken care of that way, because I know a lot of educators that have retired because they say that a lot of times they don't get school support. Like, they started off as teachers a long time ago, and as things have progressed, we just want to pass the students. They don't get the supports that they need. So I feel like money shouldn't just be thrown at something that doesn't necessarily solve problems. I do feel that way, but I feel like we should support the teachers. I think that we should be able to figure out how to retain them, how to keep them happy, but not only that, to listen to what they have to say on how to push our students forward. I did some research on schools in Mecklenburg and Wake County, even though we're smaller, but how can we provide wraparound services to some of these students? Like,
how can we teach these students how to read? and
Yeah,
do
let's
basic
start
math.
there
Let's
before
start
we-
with instead of
Well, I mean,
we need
you
to
got to
teach them
think
how to
about
read and math. And there's nothing worse than going to the grocery store and your order being $1.54 and you hand them a $5 bill and 4 cents and they're like, they look at you like you're stupid. What are you going to want me to do with this?
Well, you
4
think
cents?
My
about it.
calculator. I'll figure it
Well,
out.
but you
Right.
think about it. Certain things aren't being required anymore. Like they don't have to write in cursive.
That's
Students
right.
don't have to do that.
They're bringing that back though.
I mean,
Supposedly.
but they hadn't. And there's certain things that are not mandatory. Like when we were in school, public school, we got all the basics.
Yeah.
I mean, we got all the basics. It's just it's a different time, Lord. I don't know when it switched or
I
when the
know-
switch was off.
It was when my kids were going to school because my daughter, I got social services called on me because I refused to buy my daughter a calculator in the 2nd grade to learn her multiplication table. And I'm like, I'm not buying for a calculator for multiplication. You teach them the
You're
multiplication.
supposed to know that.
Yeah, that's what you learn. You memorize it. You know, you go 7 times 9 is 63. You know, you learn little tricks and stuff like that. I am not buying my 7-year-old child a calculator to learn.
Yeah, but past the 10s, you run out of fingers.
Oh, come on now. But I'm just,
It's going downhill quick.
but that's what I'm saying. In that time, I had never heard anything like that. I'm like, what do you mean? So I bought my kids these little flashcards and we would do flashcards. I taught my children how to read by phonics. We would get in the bed and because they had sight words. I'm like, what the heck is a sight word?
But you know what,
is a
Lord?
sight word?
You were there to support
they-
your kids too. Sight words.
They memorize the words. They don't
Okay.
actually learn how, they don't say sat is sat.
Okay.
Sat. They see it and I see SAT-O is sat.
Okay.
So then if you get a word like pseudonym, they're like, they don't know what that, they don't.
But you think about it. But Laura's there for her kids. You know,
That's true,
it's a
yeah.
lot of people that don't have the
I don't know.
supports
I
at
kind of
home.
support the education system the way it is because, I mean, if they're mouth breathers, let them be mouth breathers. It's fine. That
They-
way I get to
but-
see
but-
them. I stay away from them.
But they might not be mouth breathers or mouth breathers if somebody took the time to teach them how to do things.
I agree. So, Ms. Thomas, County Commission, the role is basically to fund the schools and
Mhm.
make sure that the brick and mortars are up to snuff. In the last year, we had a consultant that came in and they said we're about
A
105
consultant
million.
surprise.
Hey, well, somebody's got. Listen, we don't have the subject matter expert to do this inventory, and they did.
Mhm.
$805 million of capital investment needed just to get our schools to where they're safe and maintained.
Mhm.
So now
That's for the facilities, not
that's
for
for the
students.
facilities. Yeah,
Okay.
see, because the county only really gets involved with teacher pay with a supplement. Like
Mhm.
they're able to see, can we give a supplement this year? There's some schools that have been slated to close. I think E. Smith won out that they're going to get a new school on site.
Well, they're
This is
saying
what they're
that
saying.
that's what they're saying that the Board of Education approved it. So they're still waiting to see if the county commission is going to approve the additional funding to build a school. So,
So-
we're still the word is
I'm
out.
trying to contrast that you don't have direct control of the teachers and
No.
schools, but you control the purse strings of the school board.
Right.
And I hope that you will either begin or continue the practice of accountability for our school board. Not that they're
Exactly.
doing a bad job, but
Right.
if county commission, they're going to have to do a bond for this money. You're talking almost $1 billion.
Yeah. People were talking
So-
about that.
We're going to have to issue a bond, issue debt so that we can get the money to make these changes that are necessary. But hopefully you can put it in there that we'll give you the 100 million or whatever that is. And here's the metric I want you to return within so many years.
True. And then I was
What
curious.
happens if they don't?
Yeah, right. Well, I was curious as to the whole consultant.
Mhm.
How did they come up with which schools? Why this? I mean, because Massey Hill was one of them, and so when the parents were like, "Hey, we don't want that," they came off the table. So my thing is, what happened with this whole thing with the consultants? Like, I am curious in terms of accountability.
Mhm.
How did they choose these schools? Why? What was the level? I mean, you're curious, like, why? How do we know? I'm just
Well,
saying, I don't know enough about it to say, okay, why is it 850 million? I mean, whatever it is, when you talk about accountability, you kind of want to know that too. Like, how did Massey Hill come off the table?
Well,
If they still needed it, they came off the table for being closed.
Massey Hill is one of, I don't know how many of the schools that were built around turn of the century
Mhm.
that actually have held up. Right?
Yeah, and I mean the grades were off the chart. I mean, I think there's some of their grades are the best in the county.
But what makes the grades? The building or the man or the man or woman teacher?
Well, I think the whole administrative staff, but they still threatening to close it.
Well, and they should, because nobody can shoot me. Let me get out of here alive. But the 100-year-old school is prohibitive cost-wise to maintain. Now, some of the schools they're recommending to close were built in the 60s and 70s. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
We built them garbage-like in the 60s and 70s where they're already failing. And I think we should appreciate that we at least got 110 years out of the Massey Hills, and I think it's Reed Ross Classical.
Yeah, we call it Classical.
Those schools were built to last, and we have enjoyed the fruits of good construction. But now,
what is saying? Not closing it though?
Do we not think that we can make a state-of-the-art facility and just move the faculty?
Well, but they say they're not closing it. So I don't. So that's where I differ. So why did they change that? I feel like that's wrong.
If the people that we paid to consult said, "Hey, you got to do this," and then you let passionate arguments get in there, it's not.
Why are we paying consultants, and why don't just everybody be passionate and then we just get over it?
Yeah. Why didn't we just do this from the beginning? Like, why didn't we put it out to the community? Why do we do something then we have to backtrack?
Because. So look, we're trying to elect you to represent us, to make decisions that are for the good of us.
Right.
Okay. The good of the whole community.
Right.
And that's where I think sometimes the vocal minorities that stand up and speak at these things, they're very passionate, but they don't know why. They're very, no, I don't want to lose that school. That I went there and my granddaddy went there.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, are you Al Bundy and your best accomplishment was your senior year of high school and that one good football you threw? Well, what are we doing for the kids now?
Well, yeah, I get that. But you know what? As I've been going around, like I see a lot of the city councilmen, they do this. They go to the community watches and they uplift it. They talk to their people, right?
Yes, they do.
But I very rarely, and this is no pun to any county commissioners, I very rarely have seen the county commissioners there. I think that some of this stuff will kind of cease because people want to be heard. If they would go, I can't make many promises, but the only promise that I will make that is within my control, is going to these community watches too. Because the main issue is people don't know what is going on. That's the main deal.
See, I will say that traditionally, I've never seen the county commissioners out. However, after this last election, I do see a portion of them out all the time.
There is a marked difference.
Yes. Kirk Devier is everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you after I lost, and then I saw the three guys that, won District 2, and I ran into, well, I'm not going to say which one.
Okay.
I said, man, you look tired. And I've never heard him cuss in my life. He says, it's like peeling back an effing onion. I'm like, oh, okay, well,
that confirmed what
you want that for here to go, brother.
Right. Right.
So they are working very hard and it's very visible. I know that in the Civic Center Commission meeting, Pavan Patel is there almost every time. I think he missed one because he had another event at the same time. So
that's what I'm saying.
These
There's
are
a couple of them that are out there all the time, whereas the older commissioners, not so much.
Yeah. And bring it back to your community, like not just be on that board, but bring it back to your districts, just bring it back to your districts so that they know. It also
requires you, the citizen, to show up.
No, it does.
See,
I agree.
It goes both ways.
I
always
agree.
encourage people, go on the city website, sign up for the city manager's weekly email so you know what's going on there. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the county manager has one. I just haven't signed up. So, at least there is a way to find out if you're interested enough.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something else, and you just brought something to my attention, too. Go ahead,
the city
Laura.
manager is always after the fact, not, hey, this is coming up.
That's true.
Well, but once you get a cadence, you'll eventually be looking forward a little bit, I would think.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, well, Mr. Hewitt, if you're watching and you hear this, then you need to start talking about the next 2 weeks instead of last month.
I want to know what happened, okay, but also what's coming up is, that's of interest to me. I think I want to go there, as opposed to, that's of interest to me. I missed that.
And not only that, too, the community watch people where it is organized. There's a lot of seasoned, what I've noticed, there's a lot of seasoned people in the communities that are the most active. They don't know how to use this technology. So it may be that the community watch people that are over it need to work with the seasoned individuals to say, hey, this is coming up. Let them be that spearhead because it's lost. It's a gap. It's a gap there. Everybody doesn't know how to use say fix it and these other kinds of
Right.
things.
Well, you're the
is that
one that's good with
Mario-
old people. You're
Mario?
supposed to. No,
Yeah,
all
well,
right,
I mean,
we're gonna
and
get
I
back
love to do it.
Okay.
Is that Mario making
no,
comments?
that is. Hold on, let me switch back. I believe that was Monica. Monica's joining us, and she said she fought for Massey Hill. And I'll pull it on mine so I can read it. So, she fought for Massey Hill. My girls went to Massey Hill. They both got scholarships because of their grades. And she just watched the county commission forum from a few days ago. That was something. So, Ms. Thomas, were you there?
No, I was not.
Oh, okay. So, Monica, you're not
email
talking about
address
her
is
being
messed up.
something.
But we got
Okay.
that fixed. We got that
Yeah,
fixed.
we got it fixed
Okay.
now, but I was
All
not
right.
there.
So, Monica, any highlights, or no, we'll talk offline? I'm not sure where that forum was. Where was it?
They had it at Crossroads Church.
Okay.
Was it-
Monica,
it
if
was
you
a
get the
Democrat commissioner. Was
Well,
it the Democrat primary?
I think it was. Yeah, it was. It was the commissioners at large, and it was at large in District 1.
Okay.
I
They
would
just
say,
did it with
Monica,
commissioners.
if you get the opportunity, since Terry missed out on a lot of things because her email was incorrect, if you get the opportunity, I highly encourage you to speak to her one-on-one and get to know her, because she's a little ball of dynamite.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's a compliment.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
I called her Spitfire, but
Okay, that
Dynamite, Spitfire, yeah, she's a tough little cookie here. So, all right. So we talked about schools. We talked about, you going to go after Key Moores with some pitchforks and torches?
Let me ask, and I got to find out about this because I don't know this and I'm curious. So we're talking about this water problem and all this, and the things that I don't know, but I want to know, has anybody thought about working with PwC with this problem? I haven't read it. I haven't read it.
PwC is working on filtration right now,
But
so
not
that we can
PFAS.
have controlled and how do we put it? Controlled, clean water. I cannot remember. Filtered water, something. Anyway, we weren't allowed at the Chamber of Commerce to say we have poison in our water, so we had to come up with some other fancy, acronym for it or whatever. But yeah. The idea is to let PwC start filtering, because people don't understand, even if it's coming out of the tap, we still have PFAS in our water.
Right.
It's everywhere.
So it's everywhere. So the priority now is to try to get regulated clean water. That was it. Regulated clean water down to Grays Creek and all those places that have the worst contamination. But now we have to work on a county-wide utility.
Right.
And that's how we're going to drive economic development here, is by having regulated water and sewer.
Yep, because people do not want to come here without it. I mean, everybody deserves clean drinking water, and then getting people to trust it. Because, I didn't even think about water fountains until you said that. I was like, God, you can't even drink out the water fountain. Well, I didn't even think. I just don't think like that. But that's
your
part of it.
Your former alma mater has been very, very instrumental in the PFAS fight. They have a study that's ongoing here that measures people's blood.
Yes,
and they test them every year, I think, to see the levels in their blood. And they've proven that when you have filters on your home, that your levels go down. And so they were able to prove that most people with those filters were right around the national average of having PFAS, because you got PFAS on you right now in the clothes you wear.
Wow.
So it really is. And then Jim just came in, so he brought more PFAS with him.
Oh God.
PFAS. I got PFAS for you. A PFAS for you.
Yeah.
A PFAS
Everybody got PFAS.
It's like a devilish Oprah handing it out to everybody.
Ugh.
So, so when it comes to countywide water and sewer, this is such a boring issue, but it's very, very pressing
important
for us. Where do you think you are? You think you need to learn more about it so you can fight for it? Or
I want to learn. Bottom line, everybody deserves clean drinking water. So I'm about getting that figured out, whatever that takes. I mean, we have the money for it. So, okay, what are we going to do? I still need to learn more about it so I know what I need to push for in that way. But I know that it's bad because I was down on Cedar Creek Road. So we were on the bottled water as well. So we did have the filters that they put on, and now they said we're good. So we took the filters off, but we still drink out of the bottled water because we don't necessarily trust it. Right. So,
yeah, but even the bottled water has those plastic things.
Yeah.
Still,
I mean,
there's always something.
It's always something, But again, to your point, I want to learn more about it so I know what to fight for, to be able to figure out what the protocol would be or what the timeline is going to be, because I don't know the timeline or what is going to be what.
See, so in your position right now, I wouldn't fault you for needing to do some more
homework to know,
because you're in a primary. You need to know, is this going to be my job before you really dig in?
Right.
But there is a lot to know about it. And I think you'll be a quick study.
Yeah, because I want to know.
And I do appreciate that you just admit that you need to learn stuff.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to sit here and tell you that I don't know.
Out of these, bravado candidates, they all know everything.
I don't know. I'm straight up about it.
It's a priority. You need to work on it.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
That's all you can ask.
That's all I can ask. Yeah. I mean, I can ask for $1 million in a suitcase. You got anything?
I wish I could. I wish I had it.
Yeah. Okay. So Monica commented, if we had sued DuPont Chemours 20 years ago, we could have paid for new schools. Yeah, Monica, we sure could have. Actually, it was 30 or 40 years ago. We had the opportunity from USDA to get the money to do countywide water and sewer like our neighbors in Robeson and to our east, Robeson and Sampson. They took advantage of it, but now we're no longer considered a rural community.
Wow.
So that money is not available to us anymore. And back then, everybody threw a fit. We don't want your water. Oh. But we didn't know that PFAS was it. We didn't know what was we didn't know what we didn't know.
Right.
So, yeah, we had the chance.
But we didn't.
Nope.
But you blew it.
We blew it big time. And that's why, personally, I stay involved doing this and with the chamber and other things. You saw me on the Human Relations Board.
Right.
We have to stay involved. I don't want another mistake like we did with I-95. That's my favorite one to think back on. Uh-huh. We had such a bad association with our state and local delegation to Jones Street, not only to that, but also to the federal government, that when federal DOT came through here with I-95, they're like, well, where should we put it? Let's put it around Fayetteville. It should have been down 301.
Yeah, because that's closer.
Could you imagine the economic development we would have had if it went down 301?
If
I-95 just came straight through?
And I didn't even realize we had the opportunity for that. Mm-hmm. But you're right.
But that was in 1960. And 95 was built in the 70s.
Yeah.
Just like the new 295. That was a 40-year project in the making.
Wow.
40 years. They first started 20. So let's see, this was 25 it opened. So it began in 1999. The first bit of 295 was begun.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So it was 40 years planning and 26 years building. God. We have to think.
Forward thinking, visionary.
We can't be so tied up with what's in front of us.
Right there.
And somebody showing their rear end at a meeting or whatever. We need to plan ahead. We got to push through.
Definitely.
It's not what we're doing today. It's what we're going to do and need 20 years from now.
Absolutely.
And not even just tomorrow, 20 years from now.
Gotta think ahead. Gotta be visionary. And what you don't know, you got to figure it out.
So what I'm gathering from you is you're very, very experienced in our community. You've been working. I feel like a lot of what you do is a calling more than a job.
Wait a minute. We have a question.
We have a question.
Okay.
What is the position on the data center?
Oh, data center? For me, I was just saying this on that Fayetteville City News program. I feel that the companies need to be vetted. I know that we need jobs. I know that there's the people that are in place, you have to have a certain percentage of jobs. But if it's going to hurt the community, we need to vet to see if it's going to work for our community. That's what I feel. If it's going to cause more electrical strain, more health strain. We already talked about water, PFAS, more water strain. I mean, I just don't feel that that's a good fit. And everything is not a good fit. And just because it's going to bring a few jobs here, I don't even know how many jobs it's going to bring. They say it's not going to be many. Yeah, I heard it's not going to be many. That's not a good fit for our. I keep telling people, if they did not, what's the name of the city? I'm trying to think of it. Oh, God, it just escapes me. It's a small town. And one of my girlfriends is from there. If they turned it down, God, it's Tarboro. That's it. Tarboro turned it down as economically non-developed as they are. Why would we want it?
I don't really think it's much economic development.
I don't either.
I think it is more of a strain on the community. However, Fort Bragg did announce that they were selected to be a test site for the Department of War to bring a nuclear reactor here. Mm-hmm. And I commented on Facebook. I said, bring 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Let us be energy independent from Duke. Let's lower some rates. And if we want a data center, let's power it with one of those nuclear
Now,
things.
let me ask you this. What's Sharon Harris?
Nuclear power plant.
Okay, because I know that I have a relative that's worked there, retired from there, and I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about that area. But it's something else I would have to research. But again, I don't think the data center is the way to go.
Well, it doesn't make long term. It may boost your property tax base, maybe, but it's not going to provide jobs. It'll provide construction jobs,
right?
And then when it's done and somebody flips the switch, there might be like 6 people working in the thing.
Yeah.
And
that's not going to help us.
That's right.
We already have struggles with the water supply. We had Fuquay Varina trying to steal our water, 6.17 million gallons.
And PwC is going up again. I just read that. So, I mean, my bill was like, I'm in the home by myself, and my bill this month was $300. You know, so it's going, I mean,
hey, and I work in my house, mine went to 400, so mine was warmer. But no, I unfortunately I did have to jump on the bandwagon this month with PwC saying, you know, my bill doubled, and it did. But if you look on the back, I really urge people, before you're like, you know, screw PwC,
right? Look
on the back and see how that little graph sincerely doubled, because it was very cold, and I did use double the energy.
Yeah, because you're not gonna be cold.
I mean, you could be.
I mean, you can.
Look, I keep mine at 66. Where do you keep yours?
68.
See?
Y'all freezing.
Man, I have electric blankets, and when people come over, I have throws. I'm like, here, throw this on. I mean,
I told Laura today, she said she was freezing. I was like, hell, I feel kind of sweaty. I'm going to turn the air conditioner.
I'm sitting there with heat. I have a heater right here. I have a heater over where I sit. He keeps this place like a refrigerator. I was going to bring my cold cuts and hang them up in the back room over here, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
oh God.
So the data center.
Yeah, they said they can't put fires out now.
Well, yeah, lack of water. Well, that's also because they hired DEI people for their fire chief, and apparently that wasn't a great idea either. But I think we had that on the show. Like, we played a clip of the fire chief or somebody saying, this is ridiculous. You're prioritizing this over safety of the community. So that was about a year ago, though.
Who knows? Yeah, I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone a year ago. Anyway. Yeah.
So let's see. We're coming up on an hour. We've had Ms. Thomas in here. So
doesn't seem like it.
No, it goes right by. And I'm going to go ahead.
Okay. So tell me, how can let's pretend that if I was a Democrat, I'd be like, oh yeah, Terry.
Okay.
So how can we get a hold of you if we want to give you money?
Oh, give me money? You can go to terrythomasnc.org and to donate, click the little donate button, and you can donate to me there. And then you can call me 910-988-7672. I'll get you hooked up immediately.
Okay. And I will say the same thing that I say every single time. There are some people that just cannot give money. That's okay. Terry needs your time too.
Definitely.
You can work the polls. You can make phone calls. You don't even have to leave your house these days to make phone calls. So please get a hold of Terry.
Yep. You can volunteer on there too. So it's donate and volunteer, either one.
There you go.
Okay. Well, we're going to end this portion of the broadcast for this evening. I want to thank Mrs. Laura Musler for being here and the illustrious Spitfire, Miss Terri Thomas. So nice to see you, and good luck to you.
Nice to be on the show. Thank you.
So early voting is still going on.
Yep, to the 28th.
To the 28th. And then the big day is
March the 3rd.
So if you haven't voted early, vote March 3rd.
Yep.
So with that, we'll be back here in just a few minutes with Mr. Leonard Bryant. We'll see you shortly.